So I'm Sergeant Paul Clendenin with Iowa Patrol, the Public Information Officer with the Knoxville District. Today we're going to talk about a crash that occurred on Interstate 75. Sergeant Jenkins with the Loudon County Sheriff's Office was attempting to remove a ladder that was out in the roadway, and he was conducting a rolling roadblock to slow vehicles behind him until he got up to that ladder. Once he got stopped, got out of his vehicle to remove that ladder, a tractor trailer came up on these stopped vehicles, struck two other vehicles as well as the sergeant's patrol unit, and then struck the sergeant. He is now deceased. THP will be investigating this crash and is actively investigating this crash. We're utilizing not only our road troopers, but also our CID team and our CERT team. At this point in time, multiple agencies have reached out to assist with calls of service in Loudon County's time of need. District Attorney's Office is assisting, as well as Anderson County Sheriff's Office, Lenoir City, Blount County Sheriff's Office, Oak Ridge Police Department, and if I haven't named any of the others, there's multiple reaching out, like I said, in Loudon County's time of need. We'll also be reaching out later on while Loudon County deputies are taking their time and their time of grief during the services for Sergeant Jenkins. While we are investigating this crash, we're not going to release any other details at this time. But as we are able to, we will be releasing that.
So can we get the name of deputy again? I'm sorry.
That's Sergeant Chris Jenkins.
And he was responding to a ladder on the road.
Correct. Correct.
Forgive me if I missed it, sir. Anyone else injured?
At this time, no.
Is the driver of the tractor trailer truck in custody at this point, or charges pending?
This crash is still under investigation, so we won't be releasing any information about that.
Sheriff, what is today like for your department? I heard Matt earlier just describe this as a nightmare.
It's something that nobody ever wants to go through. I'd rather not talk.
Sir, can you walk us through what happens next?
Like I said, this crash is under investigation. Our teams will continue to do what they do best. You know, we're reaching out and seeing if there are any other witnesses that haven't come forward, not only about this instance, but about how the ladder got there in the first place. And we'll just continue to do what we do, is investigate and get all the facts before we move forward.
Are you asking people to reach out to you all, call in if they perhaps see this anywhere else?
We already have had people call in, and we have multiple people bringing us information. If someone does feel that they have something to add to this investigation, we would definitely appreciate that.
Forgive me if I missed this. What time was the initial call for the ladder? Do you know what time it went?
I don't know that.
Was it blocking the roadway?
Correct, it was in the roadway.
Where exactly on 75 was it, mile marker?
Approximately the 74 mile marker.
Did a call come in, or did the...
Correct. A vehicle had already struck this ladder in the roadway, and Sergeant Jenkins was responding to that.
Sir, I don't know how much information you can release about Sergeant Jenkins. How long was he with the department? Do you have that kind of information?
I don't have that information, but we'll make that available later.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How long started taking the work? He started in April 2010. Academy. He was promoted to K-9 in 2007 and corporal in 2018. And promoted to sergeant just last year.
If I may, real quick, Russell Johnson, District Attorney. As Sergeant Clendenin said, we still have an active investigation going on with the Critical Incident Response Team from Tennessee Highway Patrol, as well as their Criminal Investigation Division. In fact, one of my assistant district attorneys that assist on all these fatality type incidents to see if there are any criminal charges is still out there assisting with that process as well. There were approximately 4 or 5 people immediately behind Sergeant Jenkins that were interviewed that saw exactly what happened relative to the truck driver. The truck driver has been interviewed, of course, in all these cases where there's a fatality involved. He's been taken for a blood draw at the Fort Loudon Medical Center in Lenore City, which was a consensual blood draw. So that process is still ongoing. So there's not a lot more of detail that I can provide other than what Sergeant Clendenin's already provided. But I will note there was at least one witness that we talked to right before we came over here who was directly behind a white utility vehicle or truck of some sort that had an unsecured orange ladder in the back, which was evidently, as I say, unsecured and over leaning against or lying on the tailgate. And she saw it begin to slip off the tailgate and come out, and of course she started backing up, realizing what was about to happen, and eventually the ladder did come out. She was swerved and missed hitting it. Saw a couple of cars behind her swerve as well. But if people have more information that may have seen that have more identifying information about this white truck, utility type truck, tailgate, orange ladder that did exit the 76 northbound on Sugar Limb Road, CID is pursuing that to see what we can learn from that, which is a cautionary tale to anyone. Our interstates are dangerous enough with all the traffic, the driving conditions, the speed, the aggressive driving behavior we see, and here you have people that may be carrying items on their trailers, trucks. You know, we see mainly litter get out a lot of times, and you see tires and things like that blow up and happen, but something like this could have easily been secured, and Sergeant Jenkins would be here with us today. So that's very unfortunate. We can't speculate on what criminal charges might be coming or not for the driver responsible for his death until this investigation is fully complete, and that might take some time. As you can imagine, there's in-car camera from the patrol car, but in the angle it's not going to be helpful. Sometimes people have those dash cam cameras on their cars or vehicles, and we know in the immediate vicinity in the northbound lane of travel there evidently were none of those, but there's always a possibility somebody may have been coming southbound on the other side at the time of this incident. As you're going southbound towards Chattanooga from Knoxville, West Knoxville, or Lenore City, as you cross the Tennessee River Bridge, this incident occurred over on the left-hand side in the northbound lane. The median is clear through there, so if there's any camera footage that could assist the Tennessee Highway Patrol, they're going to be the ones, the point of contact for any information from the public or media for that case in this instance. So if you would contact THP, and just talking with Sheriff Guider, I know I listened to part of his speech to his staff, the deputies, and the family that is the Loudon County Sheriff's Department, and the larger family that is law enforcement here, on what Chris Jenkins means to this office and to him personally, and Chief Davis and others, and know Sheriff Barong's here and our county mayor's here because everyone loves Chris, loves his family. We've grown up with him in our jobs, as I have, and would like for Sheriff just to have the opportunity to say a few things if he wants to. I know you're real emotional about it, but okay. So you and I were talking. I'm trying to convey what I know you would want conveyed, and I know this is a tough situation for you.
Like a son, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there'll be a later point, but
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
okay. Well, thank you for allowing me to try to
Thank you.
deliver that message for you. So our hearts go out to Chris and his family, and Christy and their children, and everybody. And this is a tough time for everybody. And thank you for and being understanding in that regard with your reporting. Appreciate it.